The actual origin of the black Hebrew Israelites stretches back to before the Civil War. In 1896, there was a sect funded in Kansas by William Crowdy. Shortly after that, new congregations sprouted in several major cities. And by the 1980s, other sects began to appear. One set in famous Miami-based set, which was started by Yahi ben Yahi, otherwise known by the authorities as Hulin Mitchell Jr. Now, Yahi is the creator of all in the Hebrew Bible. Okay? For him to take that name and make it his own, to change his name to that, what's that tell you? This set will be discussed in greater detail later in this article. Other sets include the Commandment Keepers, the Law Keepers, House of Judah, and the African Hebrew Israelites of Judaism. Just to list a few. Ben Israel, originally named Ben Carter, from the south side of Chicago, started the later set, the Kingdom of Yahweh, around 1967. Ben Israel expressed upon other blacks the belief that African Americans descended from biblical tribe of Judah. He led others to believe that because of this, Israel was the true land of their birthright. He is said to have received a vision in which the angel Gabriel revealed that the time had come for the biblical Israelites among the African Americans to return to Israel, the promised land, and to establish the kingdom of God on earth. As a result, about 350 people from Chicago, along with Ben Israel, journeyed to Liberia, West Africa, on their way to Israel. In 1969, they made it to Israel and set up what they believed to be foundation for the kingdom of God. Unfortunately, despite all the promotion of building the kingdom of God in righteousness, the black Hebrew Israelites members and Ben Israel set were later engaged in criminal activity. In 1986, Ben Israel and his aide, Prince Abraham ben Israel, were convicted of trafficking stolen passports and securities and forging checks and saving bonds. While in Israel, Ben Israel's community had a counterpart set forming in the United States. This set was being led by Yahi ben Yahi and was called the Nation of Ahi. Those who follow Yahi ben Yahi viewed him as the Messiah. Okay? They viewed him as the Messiah. This guy that changed his name to the creator of all. Yahi ben Yahi, Hulin Mitchell Jr., was born in Oklahoma, 1935. He founded NOI in 1979. He originally tried to base his teaching on twisting Christian doctrine. In recent years, the NOI was involved in a large amount of conflict with the people in government of Miami, Florida, where it was founded. The NOI is a offshoot of the sect created by Ben Israel. Members of the NOI were convicted in 1990 of conspiring to commit RICO, racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. And although they were not found guilty of the RICO charge, Yahi was sentenced to serving an 18-year sentence for another crime. In conjunction with the negative view of this sect, Yahi and his followers are referred to as a killer cult, notorious for their violent background. There are many other branches of the black Hebrew Israelites that come from the perverted biblical beliefs and teaching of Ben Israel's misunderstanding of the Holy Scriptures. In spite of obvious errors in interpreting the Bible, those who practice this religion in any form perceive their history to be exceptionally divine. The Black Hebrews believe they are descended from one of the ancient Israel's 10 lost tribes by way of Africa and the slave routes to America, an account most scholars dismiss as myth. The Black Hebrews believe they are descended from Israelites who were expelled for Judaism by the Romans in AD 70 and then migrated for more than 1,000 years before reaching West Africa and then later the United States as slaves. According to the teachings of their leader Ben Ami ben Israel, the cruel chapters of their history were part of God's plan to lead them back to their homeland, Israel. That belief sprang from a vision that Ben Ami says he had in 1966, and we all know what time that was. That was a time of hallucinations of LSD and different drugs. Okay. When he was a Chicago foundry worker named Ben Carter, in the dream, Archangel Gabriel told him that many African Americans were descendants of the lost Israeli tribe of Judah. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to read this. Archangel Gabriel told him that many African Americans were descendants of the lost tribe. She said, so just in this dream, she said many. Okay, not all. Okay, and it might be possible that they might have descended into Africa and migrated, and who knows who are the actual ones, or if they're mixed with other people or what. Okay. The racism paranoia that they have is very flammable, says Suleiman Niyang, an expert at Howard University. They want to take on the entire system, the entire world that they think is evil and against them. The line between reality and imagination does not exist for them. And this may account for why some Africans have similar features to Caucasians and Jews. Well, mostly Jews, okay? And in the vision that Ben Israel says that he had, in that vision alone, it says many African Americans, okay? And if this is true, it's possible that some of these Jews descended into Africa, migrated with some, most likely the Ethiopians, okay, and possibly could have descended genes, and some of the African slaves that was brought to America may have some, okay. In many ways, Black Hebrew Israelite beliefs are a mirror image of the white supremacist Christian identity religion, which holds that Northern Europeans, not Jews, are God's true chosen people. Both see Jews as the spawn of Satan and accuse them of certainly controlling, socially strain pulling. Tom Mexiga, leader of the White Aryan Residents, has said they're the black counterpart of us. Black Hebrews believe the descendants of American slaves and various other people of Americas, like Native Indian and Latinos, are the 12 tribes of Israel. They expect to someday return to Israel, which they call Northeast Africa. Adherents reject black Africans, who are usually seen as traitors who sold their black brothers into slavery. And later, I'm going to go over the 12 tribes of Israel claimed by so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. And I'm also going to go over evolution versus creation by God. Okay? So until next time, peace. And watch your back.